I think we should say, am I on track with Invisalign? What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, we are going to be talking about my Invisalign, mainly my Invisalign journey, because it is actually 6 months into my Invisalign journey and I should be having these for 1 year. So we are kind of in the halfway mark. So if you haven't seen my first video of my Invisalign journey back in July, I believe, I would recommend you go watch that one right now and then come back to this video. Or you can watch this one and then go ahead and watch that one. I'll put it right up here somewhere. It's also going to be down in the description and in the end credits if you want to go ahead and watch that afterwards. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and kind of tell you the tea basically on my journey with Invisalign for the past 6 months. I guess you could say I'm one of those clients that wants to take it seriously but then also wants freedom from the Invisalign. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just like tell you everything right now. Okay, so I will say 6 months with the Invisalign, it is amazing. The first 2 months I did tell you guys that there was an app for Invisalign and I am not following that anymore. I forget to press pause when I take off my Invisalign trays. I literally forget to press pause and that kind of messes up the time of how many hours you have had them on and had them off. So yeah, I'm no longer using that. I only use it for the photos, like the progress photos. That's literally it. Yeah, unless you are very good with remembering to press pause and play when you take them off and on, then I would say Invisalign, the Invisalign app is literally called the Invisalign app. That would be a great app for you. And then it also tells you when you should switch to your next tray, which is also great. I always remember it's every single Friday for me. It's every other Friday for me. But yeah, that's basically it. I only use it for photos and when it tells me to put on my next tray. The next thing I will have to say with Invisalign trays, it is very restrictive when it comes to eating. Okay, so depending on your dentist, they tell you whether or not you could take them off for 2 or 4 hours. Mine, they told me to take it, I'm only allowed to take it off for 2 hours. And to be quite honest, the first 2 months of it, I was a-okay with it because I was just like, okay, I'm paying for this. I want them to work. I don't want to get a revision. I think that's what it's called, a refinement. I think that's what it's called, the refinement. I was like, I'm on top of it. Yeah. But I was always starving. There is a thing called Invisalign diet, and it is true. When it comes to eating wise, they tell me that I have to have them off. I could only have them off for 2 hours, and to be quite honest, 2 hours is not a lot of time when you actually want to eat something, especially now during the winter time. You want hot drinks and hot food. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I don't like gulp everything. I don't like drink everything in like 10 minutes. I take my time on drinking it. I literally have my coffee right here. I've had this for an hour already. I'm halfway. I'm not a fast drinker, fast eater or anything like that, so I do realize now that I'm probably gonna need a refinement because of that, but I would rather take a refinement than cutting out my food intake, unintentionally getting into an eating disorder, because I have a history of that, so I'm not trying to do that. In the past, I definitely, like, once I hit the 2 hour mark, I was like, I'm not eating anymore. I can't eat anymore because my Invisalign does not allow it. Not letting that happen anymore. Well, yeah, okay, I'm a huge coffee drinker. Okay, so I would say this was like 2 months ago. I was still keeping my Invisalign trays on the majority of the time, especially when I drink coffee. And that is a huge no-no when it comes to Invisalign. For one, I was okay with it staining a little bit. It actually didn't stain as much as you think it does. But when you do switch it, you do notice a huge difference. But when you have it on your teeth, you don't really see it until you actually switch it. What it didn't tell you is that it does definitely stain your teeth a lot more than it would without it. My teeth are stained a little bit more on this side for some reason, like more on like they're more stained on like the teeth that are having trouble moving and there's like little gaps in it. So yeah, it's stained on these here, which are like my troublesome ones. I'll talk about that later. I know this is another big no-no if any dentist, or even if my dentist is actually watching, I'm so sorry. I am starting to use whitening strips because I don't like having just like 4 yellow teeth right here and the rest are fine. Not a big fan of it. Oh my god, I have so much to tell you guys and I really should have just written this down. Why didn't I write this down? And then the next thing, food wise, I could eat anything. After like once I switch them, I really don't have that much pain when it comes to certain foods. I could just eat whatever I want and it's totally fine. I will say though, I do have a tooth that is more sensitive to sweets. There's no cavities. It's just very sensitive to sweets. It's been like that ever since they gave me the attachments, and I don't know why. It was sensitive when they put it on, and that like little blue light thingy just, I don't know. I think we should say, am I on track with Invisalign? No, I don't think I am. Okay, so the last time I went to my dentist, they actually said that there was a gap where my like weird teeth are. Cause I say weird because it's literally the canine and one of the molars switched. Or actually, when I had braces, that dentist actually saw how further up the molar was that they decided that they're gonna just like switch them. I wish they didn't, because I'm pretty sure this is the reason why I needed to go back to Invisalign. That molar in the front tooth, that's when are having a bit like they're not wanting to track properly anymore. She really thinks it could be the attachment not placed on the right spot, but honestly, I really just think that that molar does not want to budge whatsoever. It's just back there. I noticed my bottom teeth are fine. They're totally okay. They're moving properly. The top ones, I could tell when I take them off and I bite down. The molar is further back and these are further out. It's been a few months since I've seen the gap. Actually, I'll show you guys right now. I have my Invisalign right here. I'm just going to quickly pop them on for you guys so I could show you. They don't do a click anymore, and I know there's usually like a significant click when you put them on. The top one does not have a click whatsoever. And that one. And then with the chewy, this chewy that they gave you, I got that. Let me see if I can do a close-up for you guys. Okay, so it is definitely a focus right there. But if I bite down, yeah. But then it goes all the way up to here. Yeah, except this one here, it never moves whatsoever. But I do think, I'm sorry, I'm so zoomed in. I do think though that, like, for one, it is probably just like not moving as it should be. I do think that one molar right here, this one, is not moving as they want it to be. It's not tracking properly, but it also doesn't look like it's on the little hole, if you noticed it. I don't know if I can show you. I don't know if you can tell. Huge gap. Definitely gonna get a refinement. Definitely gonna be probably a year and a half. I could guarantee you that. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be a year and a half until I'm gonna be done. But yeah, those right there are the ones that do not want to move whatsoever. Or actually, I guess the molar, and then the one in front of it is just like forced not to move because it's so close to it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to call them to tell them that that is a huge problem right there and we have to fix it ASAP, or else the rest of the trays that I have are just going to be useless now. And as you can tell, I still have a lisp. You would think that the lisp goes away eventually, but I don't think it ever does, unless like you just forget about it. But honestly, it's still there. I do have to take them off every time I film a video because like right now you notice a huge lisp when I'm talking, especially with the S's and the T's. I will say I think it's because of the gap, because I do feel air flow through it when I'm talking. So with this lisp, also going out in public and wearing a mask, because we are definitely in a pandemic. I don't know when you're watching this, but right now, at the moment, December 2020, we are in a pandemic, and going out to the grocery store, wearing a mask, having to talk to people, and going to work actually. Wearing a mask with the lisp is really hard for people to understand me. I can't help it. I really do try my best to pronounce words properly and try my best not to say talking to lisp, but honestly it just comes out with the lisp. I don't know what else you guys want to know for 6 months. What I did want to talk about was my refinement, me having to go and get a refinement. So it's probably going to take more than a year for me to finish my Invisalign because of that, because that tooth is not budging whatsoever, as well as me not wearing them as much as I would want to. I literally do just forget to put them on sometimes after I eat, because I'm just like, it's cold right now, I just want to stay in bed and I just want to like stay warm. So if I do get a refinement, that's literally on me. And a little bit for my tooth. None of the attachments have broken off, thankfully, because I've seen a lot of people say that their attachments do fall off sometimes on certain things that they eat. Luckily for me, everything that I've eaten, and I eat like a huge variety of food. Do I regret having Invisalign? Yes and no. At first I was like fully thinking I was going to get braces when I first got Invisalign, and they were actually saying that I'm a perfect candidate for Invisalign, but I was just like, how? with my two teeth that are switched. Like, that just like blew my mind with that. They're saying that it's not that hard for them to move, that they could definitely do that, and then fix my jaw, not my jaw, they just want, like, they could fix the alignment of it, not like perfectly symmetrical, but they could fix it up to where it looks symmetrical. And then in the future, once I am done with the Invisalign, I have the option to actually make the molar that switched look like a canine as much as possible, just so it could look as normal as possible. Braces, I was going to actually say yes to the braces, but now I'm okay with it. I do know that Invisalign, it is more on my responsibility to put it back on when I should be, and then braces, obviously, like, you cannot take them off whatsoever, so they do force it to stay on track, and I am the one who has to make it stay on track with Invisalign. That's probably like the one thing I wish I was more better at, is like keeping track on it. I do have my boyfriend telling me, if you see me not wearing my Invisalign and I'm not drinking or eating anything, tell me to go put it on right now. But yeah, I think now I'm just rambling on. I do really think I finished talking about everything I wanted to talk about in this 6-month. If there are any things that I did not talk about and you wanted an answer for that, go ahead and ask me in the comments down below and I will gladly answer those for you. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you want to follow up my Invisalign journey, go ahead and subscribe down below. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.